Active skills have been one of the main staples of Dokkan and one of its central selling points for some time now. Playing cool animations with voice lines and a good OST has become one of the most important things people look for in a new unit. Sometimes Dokkan has great active skill conditions. Other times, they end up on this list. Unfortunately, the hit anime mobile gacha game Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle isn't always perfect. Today we're going to be going over 10 such times that Dokkan missed the mark on these restrictions. Coming in at the number 10 spot, we have Ain't Universe 7, who released during the 6th year anniversary. While being pretty decent on release, they've quickly fallen by the wayside as time has passed. While 10 million attack stats and decent defense might have been good enough for them in the past, that's not why they're on this list. What puts them on this list is their horrendous active skill condition. Needing 5 or more reps of Universe 7 category allies on the team, plus 2 attacking on the same turn, themselves excluded from that? Not to mention they can only do their active skill against one enemy under 50% HP. While it's an iconic animation and a pretty cool animation in Dokkan itself, you're simply just not going to get to see the animation very often when you have this character. Like, I don't know what they were thinking with this anyway. While it has a pretty cool effect of giving 7 ki for one turn and doing some decent damage, it's just impossible to get. I mean, bro, I can count on like one hand, maybe 2, the amount of times that I've gotten this active skill off in real life conditions. Well, not real life, realistic conditions, I should say. It's really just such a sad waste of a unit, it feels like. Waste of a great animation in this game. But it's alright, Dokkan's gonna make sure that their Easy A cooks. Omatsu, please. I need you to make sure that this guy's Easy A is really good. Please, Omatsu, please! Please! But that's number 10, Ain't Universe 7. A great unit release. Moving on to number 9. Coming in at number 9, we have Int LR Cell. Now, the 300 million download celebration was one of the most hype periods in Dokkan history, but that does not mean it was perfect. Cell was a great unit on release, do not get me wrong. On release, he did good damage and he had good defense. His team was even decent, and he had a pretty good link set, not to mention a good plethora of categories and teams to be on. However, that just makes his active skill condition all the worse. You see, to transform and get LR Cell's active skill, you have to get under 30% HP, or 40% after his Easy A, which is pretty much RNG. Bosses can pretty much just one-shot you. They don't usually bring you down to the brink of death. They kind of just usually pretty much kill you. Which is why it makes Cell all the harder to just transform into, man. Once he transformed, he was great, but his base form wasn't super impressive. His active skill condition is it can be activated the turn after evolving, aka the 3rd turn after evolution, and facing only one enemy. But to even activate it, you have to get under that 30% HP restriction, which is brutal, brutal! But at least his active skill looks great and it does some pretty decent damage. That was a great release for Dokkan, and he honestly was probably one of the better performing banners in this game's history, whether we like to believe it or not. And that man Cell was cooking, okay? He was cooking, he was wheeling and dealing. Back in the day, you don't even know! Pre-5th year anniversary? Oh my god. The golden days, the glory days. But that's Int LR Cell, who is coming in at the number 9 spot. At number 8, we have 2 units actually, a little bit of cheating. We have the GT Dokkan Fests, who released for Golden Week of 2021. Now, these units were amazing releases when they came out. They were great, they had great leader skills, good super attack effects, good passives, good designs, good links. Everything about them was pretty good. They were in contention for the best TUR in the game, along with Videl. GT Goku did the damage, GT Vegeta had the defense. That was their little yin and yang, if you will. They created rainbow orbs, they were super cohesive. I mean, I don't want to sit here and glaze them all day, but they really were some of the greatest releases in this game's history. Alright, let me stop doing tricks on it. What puts the GT Dokkan Fest on this list is, of course, their active skills. Their active skill condition of performing 4 or more super attacks in battle, which, while on paper might not seem so bad, for units that have 0 built-in additionals into their passive, that is brutal. At earliest, you could get this at turn 5, but realistically, you're not getting this turn 5. This is more of a turn 7, turn 8, turn 9, turn 10, turn 11 type deal. Just a brutal condition for some of the best animations looking in this game. I mean, Goku and Vegeta's active skills are just flat out beautiful. Goku has the intro to GT, Kamehameha, and Vegeta has his cool attack. Needless to say, there were some very good animations, and it's just disappointing that they had such a bad condition. Not to mention they did absolutely no damage because these characters don't stack attack. So they ended up doing like 1 or 2 million damage, but the animation was well worth it. Overall, the GT Dokkan Fests were a massive success, but it is unfortunate that we did not get to see more of their active skills in their heyday, their prime. I really don't have anything bad to say about these units. They are great! But that's number 8, the GT Dokkan Fests. Moving on to number 7. Coming in at number 7, we have Int LR Majin Vegeta, which is just such a disappointment for a super aesthetically pleasing unit. Majin Vegeta on release was pretty good, but he was very wonky in the design mechanic department. He didn't have a Trunks that could realistically activate his intro animation to give him his full damage reduction capabilities. Not to mention he led a pretty bad team, especially on his release, and had a pretty wonky link set for Saiyans. But that's not what puts him on this list. What puts him on this list is his active skill condition, which can be activated after receiving an attack 6 or more times in battle. Well, while you might not think that's so bad, it's pretty bad for a unit that is a slot 2 unit. I'd argue it's a disaster. What were they thinking? He's a slot 2 unit, which makes the attacks he's gonna receive post-super very few and far between. Well, don't get me wrong, he was pretty good defensively. He was definitely not a slot 1 unit, even on release. That, in conjunction with the fact that he didn't even have a good Trunks to activate his passive for a good bit after his release, he didn't get one until Int LR Vegeta and Trunks, who released for Tanabata that year. And while they were the perfect partner for him, them locking down slot 1 pretty much meant that this guy never really had a chance to get attacked 6 times, which is such a shame because this animation is beautiful. I mean, you're probably seeing it on the screen. Oh my god, it is so good looking. Doesn't really do the most damage, unfortunately. It even sacrifices your own HP, which is it's a really bad debuff, I guess. Would you call that a debuff? I guess you'd call that a debuff. And you do get guaranteed crits, which is cool, but overall, it's just a really disappointing design choice, restriction choice for such a W animation. But that's Majin Vegeta, who's at number 7. Coming in at number 6, you have the one, the only, the man in infamy, the whole reason this list even probably exists, the most iconic character on this list. That is AGL. LR Gohan. Now, he's kind of a meme. His active skill condition is basically a meme at this point. Everybody knows what it is. And while it's gotten better over time, it's still not what it should have been. Don't get me wrong, Gohan on release was very good, and even after his EZA, he was pretty good for a minute. He's still solid now even, but you don't want to see just regular Super Saiyan Gohan. You want to see buffed up, super powerful Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. And that beautiful animation where he transforms. The iconic animation where Cell smashes 16's head and he loses it and he goes ballistic and then the red line flashes across the screen and then he yells like an angry little child. Nah, but for real, the animation is beautiful and it's just a crime. It's a felony. It's a felony what they did to this. Is this top 5 Dokkan fumbles of all time? Probably. Right up there with Physical Beast Gohan in my opinion. Everybody complains about Beast Gohan being an active skill for so long, but Gohan literally was exactly that for 3 years! 3 years! Anyways, Gohan's restriction can be activated when HP is 58% or less with an Android 16 on the team. What? That's so good, right? No. Alright, there are 0 good Android 16s in this game, and there's never been a good one. Except 16, 17, and 18. They're kind of good after their EZA now, but Int 16 was horrible. I mean, terrible. I mean, disgusting. He's a disgrace. A disgrace on this game's legacy. I don't want to turn this into a rant about 16, but he was just horrific. And now you might be wondering, just how many teams do Android 16 and Gohan share? Well, I mean, let's go through it. Kamehameha? No. Hybrid Saiyan? No. Full Power? No. Goku's family? No. Youth? No. Transformation Boost? No. Super Saiyans? No. Android/Cell Saga? Yes. But who's the leader? I'll tell you, no one relevant. Super Trunks? Get the hell out of here. Bond of Master and Disciple? Nope. Super Saiyan 2? Nope. Explosion of Anger? Nope. Rapid Growth? Nope. Desperate Struggle? Nope. Miraculous Awakening? No. Heavenly Events? No. Master Evolution? No. Entrusted Will? No. Fate-Induced Battle? No. Power Beyond Super Saiyan? No. Bond of Parent and Child? No. Warriors Raised on Earth? No. Tournament Participants? Maybe. You would think they'd at least be on Entrusted Will together, but I guess not, man. I guess not. Terrible categories aside, God, categories suck in this game. I mean, you might think, oh, but what about the other part of his active skill condition? 58% HP or less with an android on the team, starting from the 5th turn of battle, which isn't bad. Okay, I'll give you that. It's not bad, but it's still not great. All right, it's not great. The only reason why this guy isn't number 1 on this list is because good androids actually exist now, and they're on his teams, which, rejoice, Gohan, you've gotten saved. You're lucky. Anyways, Gohan is good. You know, he's great. He does his thing, right? He does his thing. That's what Gohan does. That's Gohan, who came in at the number 6 spot. Coming in at number 5, we have LR Super 17. Oh boy, where do we even begin with LR Super 17, man? Just horrific. This is gonna be a long portion. Everything about this character sucks. His super attack effects are terrible. His passive is terrible. His design is terrible. Everything about him sucks. And I hope he burns in the bottom of hell for all of time. All right. Getting into the specifics of why this guy is just the worst thing since I don't even know, since time began, dude. He's so bad. He gets 17% per android and target Goku on the same team, but he leads GT bosses, which is not one of his required categories, which makes it all the more weird why he has target Goku in his passive. Like, he literally doesn't lead half of his passive restriction. What type of design is that? He gets 17% damage reduction upon getting hit. Oh wow, that's so good, right? No, not good. Not good at all. He gets his damage reduction after the turn. After the turn. What? That's literally LR Evolution Blue Vegeta 3 EZA bad on crack. Getting damage reduction a turn after you get attacked makes it pointless to even have the damage reduction. And then the turn he comes back, he only gets it for that turn, and he has to reactivate it all over again. What great design. Don't even get me started on his terrible key mechanic. LR Full Power Jiren came out a whole year before this guy and had guaranteed key on each attack hit, on each attack received. This guy, no. 50% chance, because why the hell not? High chance? Okay. Pure and utter stupidity. But that's just his passive. All right, we haven't even gotten to his active skill. No, we have not gotten to his active skill. His active skill can be activated after this character receives 7 or more attacks in battle. Who the hell is putting this guy in front of attacks with his 300k start of turn defense? If even that. Because half the time his passive's not even up. No, it's just pure idiocy. Idiocy, is that the word? I think that's the word. Anyways, 7 or more attacks. And you're just never gonna get this. Like, I've never once gotten this. Ever. And then we get to his actual effects, right? Because he lowers attack and defense by 17% for 1 turn, and you might think, oh wow, that's so good. He debuffs. Oh, he's so good. Now, honestly, it wouldn't have shocked me if that was a self-inflicted debuff. That would have been really funny. But unfortunately, no, it does debuff the enemy. But no, it doesn't. Because, bro, in 2021, when this guy came out, there were literally 0 bosses that you could even have this condition and be able to take advantage of this 17% attack and defense reduction. Literally horrendous design. Disgustingly bad. And is why 2021 is just the aberration in Dokkan history. so many just questionable design choices, right? Just 2020 and 2021, bro. They were just lost years for Dokkan. I gotta move on, bro. I gotta calm down before I lose my mind about Super 17. That's number 5. Nobody can beat me when I'm Super 17, LR Super 17. Coming in at number 4, we have, I just think unanimously, the worst Dokkan Fest in the history of this game. I don't even think it's debatable, right? You got Int, Gotenks, and Tech Exchange Boo. Just horrific. Just, ugh. What in the world were they cooking with this one? What were they thinking, man? Ugh. Now, Gotenks here, he was fine. He was good. He was a good unit on release, right? Exchange Boo was not. He was disgustingly bad on release. I could sit here and make a 10-minute video on just how bad him alone was. But this is the top 10, so let's just talk about their active skill condition. They both exchange, or for Gotenks, transform on turn 3, which in and of itself is not that bad. But to pop their active skills to pop into their final forms, however, that's the 4th turn from their exchange or transformation turn, which automatically puts you at a minimum of turn 7. Is that good? It is not. Turn 7 is obviously not good. Who would have thunk it? Now, I know what you're gonna say, but you can technically float them on their 3rd turn, and then you can get them on turn 6. Oh my god. Which, you'd be correct. That is exactly the optimal play, because you're not keeping Tech Exchange Boo on rotation, because that brother is fodder. He is trash. He is a historically bad unit. Ranting and raving aside, there was actually some good merit that came of floating them post-transformation or exchange. And once they did exchange, they were actually pretty good units. Tech Super Boo was very good. Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks was very good as well. But it's just super unfortunate that they will never change because they literally cannot change active skill conditions. So, it's never gonna get better. It's all downhill from here. But their later skills were fodder, so it literally doesn't matter. You will very, very, very seldomly get these man's active skills. And that's what places them at this list in the number 4 spot. Moving on to number 3. And coming in at number 3, we actually have the newest unit on this list. That is Carnival STR Super Saiyan Goku, who is pretty good, right? Obviously, he's a modern unit, so he should be pretty decent. Well, I say modern, but he's actually a year old. God damn, time flies. Now, there's no ranting here. Let's just get straight to his active skill, man. Can be activated after receiving 10 or more attacks during battle, starting from the 5th turn from the start of battle. Now, there are so many reasons why this is bad. I mean, if you thought Tech Super 17 7 hits was bad, 10? Are you kidding me? Hello? What? Thought this was a good idea. Whatever. I mean, 10 hits, dude. That's brutal. Alright? I mean, I understand, you want him to get hit. But this man is not a unit that can take hits. He is pretty weak defensively. Pre-super. And to get 10 hits, you're gonna need to throw him into slot 1. And you're sure as hell not getting out of there unscathed. So we've already established how 10 attacks is basically impossible to receive. Then you have turn 5. Turn 5, that is pretty deep into the event. Most fights, you're done, or you're about done around turn 6, turn 7, right? Of course, we have this newer, longer form content, which is like turn 11, turn 10 now. But guess who's not going in front of the attacks in that type of content? Who's a floater? Carnival Super Saiyan Goku. Yeah, he's sure as hell not a rotation unit. He's sure as hell not receiving 10 attacks. And he's, 5th turn? Oh, stop. Get out of here. Just get out of here. Just a horrendous, really bad condition. And what do you get for receiving 10 or more attacks starting from the 5th turn of battle? A little bit of damage, guaranteed crits, and 5 ki for all your allies. Which, don't get me wrong, isn't bad, but you'd need to automatically win the fight for this to be worth anything of the restriction that it has. And this definitely does not automatically win you the fight. That's Super Saiyan Goku though. Carnival Super Saiyan Goku. I mean, restriction's really bad, but he's still a pretty good unit. Coming in at number 2, you got LR Movie Tech Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Good luck getting this brother's active skill. Super Saiyan 2 Gohan's active skill condition can be activated when HP is 58% or less. Okay, that's already kind of brutal, but manageable. With a movie heroes category ally whose name includes Goku. Youth excluded. Just gotta make sure we get that youth excluded in there. Just in case you were thinking about running in with Kid Goku. No. Although that might be a sick synergy, huh? Kid Goku, rainbow orb changing, he's a movie hero. Ooh, did I just find the next god level synergy? Anyways, also, 5th turn from the start of battle. I mean, you just got 3 brutal restrictions here, man. 58% or less HP, I mean, it's not free and easy to get under low HP like that, right? Turn 5, I mean, okay, I mean, you're starting to get up there on turns, and then you need to run a specific unit? Don't get me wrong, movie heroes are not hard to come by, but jumping through all these hula hoops for this active skill is just annoying. What do you get for this active skill? 12 key, 59% attack for 1 turn, which isn't bad, right? I mean, for the time, it was cool, right? His animation's really nice looking, it's beautiful, you might say. My father saved me! Ooh, that's a... I'm gonna do the voice lines at the end of this video, that'd be cool. Honestly, maybe you could argue that there are other units that should be higher than him, but when have you ever gotten this? I swear I've never gotten this. And I love this guy when he came out. It's just sad to see such a great animation just be so hard to come by these days, huh? But he's gonna be cooking with that EZA, hopefully. But as you already know, active skill conditions cannot change post EZA. But that's Tech Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, a cool unit, a great animation, but he's not number 1. Coming in at number 1, I'd argue far and away, is the one, the only, GOAT free-to-play unit of the 6th year anniversary, LR Roshi. Now, LR Roshi on release was great. I mean, he's still pretty decent to this day. He's got a lot of utility, a super strong revive that's pretty easy to activate, support, and dodge chance. And that dodge chance is actually what makes it so hard to get his active skill. His active skill condition can be activated after this character receives 7 or more attacks in battle. 7 attacks, and there's got to be a Turtle School category ally attacking on the same turn, but that's not really that hard, especially because you're probably running other Turtle School units to get his revive. That's most of his utility. It's just getting hit 7 or more times in battle, that is brutal. Just brutal for a unit that has 30% chance to dodge every single hit, to also get hit 7 times in battle. It's just a shame too, because his animation looks beautiful. I mean, beautiful. The greatest Kamehameha done in the Tournament of Power looks beautiful. I mean, and for what this active skill does, it gives all allies 7 ki for the turn, and it does a little bit of damage. Cool. I mean, but the animation is beautiful, right? I mean, yeah, it's really good looking. That's LR Roshi though. Probably the free-to-play unit GOAT. Him and LR Vegeta Blue. He's gonna close out this list at the number 1 spot of the rarest animation in Dokkan history. And that's gonna do it for this list. Let me know what you thought the 10 rarest animations in Dokkan were down below in the comments. Let me know if you think anybody was snubbed off my list. But without further ado, that's gonna do it for me. Thanks for stopping by. Damn it, I started on my own intro. Anyways, editor. This is no game. Prepare yourself. You and the earth shall be destroyed! Boom! My father saved me! And he said you weren't gonna get away with this! He told me that I was to protect the earth now. This is so stupid.